Good morning, class. Today we will talk about drama. So, what is drama? This is a specific mode of fiction represented in performance. Okay, so last meeting we discussed theater. We now know the difference between theater with an ER and theater with an RE. When we talk of theater with an RE, so that is the dramatic performance, no, or the presentation of a dramatic literature. When we talk of theater with an ER, so that is the place where the dramatic performance take place. So let's discuss the origin of the term drama. Okay, so this is from the Greek word dran, meaning action, derived from to do or to act. No, the action performed by actors on stage before an audience. Last meeting, we also discussed that audience is an element of theater. So, theater or drama is performed by actors on stage live before an audience. Okay, so remember that. Now, let's talk about the history of drama. Okay, so drama began in ancient Greece dating back to 543 BC. It started as choral performances of dancing and singing, honoring the Greek god Dionysus, the god of wine. So, mauna dito nag-start si the Greeks held their dramas in outdoor theaters called amphitheaters, and the largest seating is 14,000 people. Okay, so these are examples of theaters or theater. Okay, so this is a theater at Delphi. Okay, a theater at Epidaurus from 4th CBC. This is also an example of theater. Okay, so here at the center, dere mo perform ang actors. And here sa surrounding is ang atong mga audience. Another example of a theater. Okay, this is an example of a thrust stage or a thrust theater. So the audience are here on the three sides sa front, and the stage is here at the center. Okay, so this is an example of an stage. Okay, so naadere ang stage sa front, the audience are here. Let's talk about the early masterpieces of the art of drama. First, we have the classical Athenian tragedy by Sophocles, the Oedipus King. Then, the early modern tragedy by Shakespeare, Hamlet in 1601, and a modern example, Long Day's Journey into Night by Eugene O'Neill in 1956. Let's talk about the different types of Greek drama. Now, the ancient Greeks took their entertainment very seriously and used drama as a way of investigating the world that they lived in and what it meant to be. Now, the original plays types of ancient Greece. So we have comedy and tragedy. So comedy has witty remarks, the strange characters and circumstances, and in humorous play. And an example of this is A Midsummer's Night Dream. While in tragedy, it is a play that involved death, sadness, conflicts, and emotion. An example of this is Romeo and Juliet. Let's talk about comedy first. Ancient Greek comedy was a popular and influential form of theater performed across ancient Greece from the 6th century BCE. The most famous playwrights of this genre, okay, so when we talk of playwrights, those are the one who write the scripts or who write the play itself, no? So the famous playwrights of this genre were Aristophanes and Menander. And their works and those of their contemporaries poked fun at politicians, philosophers, and fellow artists. So mao na ilang goal sa ilang comedy sa Greek. In addition to maintaining their comic touch, the plays also give an indirect but invaluable insight into Greek society in general and provides details on the workings of the Greek government, political institutions, legal systems, religious practices, education, and even warfare in the Hellenic world. Then, tragedy. The character is confronted with a difficult moral choice and usually ends in his or her death. Now, the three great playwrights of tragedy were Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides. Tragedy for them dealt with the big themes of love, loss, pride, the abuse of power, and the fraught relationships between men and gods. Typically, the main protagonist of the tragedy commits some terrible crime without realizing how foolish and arrogant he has been. Then, as he slowly realizes his error, the world crumbles around him. Now, Aristotle argued that tragedy cleanses the heart through pity and terror, purging us of our petty concerns and worries by making us aware that there can be nobility in suffering. He called this experience catharsis. Okay, so along the way, satyr plays were created. So, ang uban ani basahon nila satire or satyr. These short plays were performed between the acts of tragedies and made fun of the plight of the tragedy's characters. Okay, so this is a genre of ancient Greek drama that preserves the structure and characters of tragedy while adopting a happy atmosphere and a rural background. Satyr play can be considered the reversal of Attic tragedy. This is a kind of joking tragedy. The actors play mythical heroes engaged in action drawn from traditional mythical tales. The the satyrs are considered with the main or contrasted. The satyrs are contrasted with the main characters who are more or less serious by their dancing, their love of wine, and their diverting banter, often expressed in low language. This contrast, which is the special trait of satiric drama, serve to alleviate the emotional tension of the tragic trilogy. Okay, so let's proceed. What is a play? Okay, so this is a form of literature written by a playwright or dramatist, usually consisting of dialogue between characters intended for theatrical performance rather than reading. Okay, so the term play may refer to both the written work of a playwright and its theatrical performance. So it is also performed with an audience. Okay, so in Greek drama, the actors all wore masks to help the audience recognize the character they were playing. So, mga mga gamit nila ng masks before. No? So, the Agamemnon mask. So, katong, I know you have already taken up your literature, so you probably know who is Agamemnon, right? So, siya ang antagonist sa Iliad or Trojan War. Siya tong kalaban ni Achilles. we have here an enduring question. How is the audience to distinguish between the real person, the actor, from the character portrayed? Diba? When we watch a play, so unsaon na to pag distinguish nga kani siya nag-arte ra ni siya because of the character. No, dili ni siya ang real person, no? Real characteristic of that actor. Okay. So, the ancient world's solution is the mask. Okay? The mask provides both a physical and symbolic separation between the impersonator or the actor and the impersonated or the character, and helps onlookers to suspend their awareness of the real world and accept the world of the stage or play. So much so nga kanang mga actors na sila mga workshops, no, para mahatagan nilang justice ang character nga ilang i-play. Okay. So, the paradox of the actor according to Denis Diderot. Okay, so Denis Diderot was a French philosopher, an art critic, and a writer. When the actor has perfected his art, it is the simulated character, the mask, that seems to live before our eyes, while the real person has no apparent life at all. So, if the actor himself got the correct characterization of the character, no, so dili ang audience ani dili na nila makit-an ang real personality sa actor, but it's the character nga ilang play. The Latin word persona means masks. But the actor does not live behind the mask, which is an even greater paradox. So, we believe in the character, but at the end of the play, we applaud the actor. So, meaning to say, maayo pagka-act or maayo pagka-portray sa actor ang character na iyang hatagan o life. Masks were also staples of the masquerade dramas of Nigeria and Cajun drama of Japan and the Commedia dell'arte of Italy. Masks are still seen today in modern stagings of these historical styles, but also in expressionistic and avant-garde productions. And the idea of masking, of hiding the performer while displaying the character, remains at the heart of the impersonation. And as the back to back masks of comedy and tragedy, it has become the most fundamental symbol of the theater itself. Now, in modern theater or plays, we have become accustomed to the separation of the actor and the character, but people still sometimes almost childishly believe in the truth of the character. Now, we are all performers. The theater only makes an art out of something we do every day. The theater reflects our everyday performances and expands those performances into a formal mode. Today, kani sila na sa pictures, no? Mga soap opera stars who play villains or bad guys or women are often stalked or harassed by fans who cannot separate the reality of the actor from the fantasy of the character. So I remember way back ages ago nagdagway to nga na ay artista no nga nagreklamo nga na while naglakaw siya no gilabay siya o unsay nga nani kamatis because um naglagot to siya nga fan no kay kontrabida man to nga artista nga gilabay o gano. So you see sometimes dili nato mas separate ang real personality or real characteristic sa actor from the character na iyahang gi-portray, no, which is sad. That's why sa unang panahon, they wear masks. At least, dili nila makitaan kung kinsa dili nila makitaan ang tinuod na face sa actor, no? So, which is also a protection for actors.